there, welcome to my laundry room. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm excited to do a fun video of how I am starting seeds for my garden this summer. I think this could be a fun little series of my garden kind of starting from seed all the way till hopefully some flowers and some vegetables. I am a very beginner gardener. I started last year and I had almost no experience, but I just got into it because of quarantine, I think like a lot of people. So this year I am gonna start earlier. Obviously it's only February right now, but I am itching to get started and I bought all this new stuff to start seeds inside. Gardening is one of those hobbies that looks like it'll be really cheap, but kind of is sneakily expensive if you get all the stuff. Of course, you don't need to do all this stuff and you can just start seeds outside and you can buy plant starts from the store. Honestly, most of the stuff I grew last year was from the cans at like Home Depot or like local garden centers. But this year, I just thought it'd be fun to start things from seed, and I'm gonna grab them. I have so many packs of seeds that I've just accumulated over the past year that I just like need to start them. So I'm going to attempt to start them. I bought a grow light, I bought a heat map, and then I bought a timer electrical outlet thing so that I can turn the heat mat and light on for like 12 hours a day. And then I went to Home Depot and I got potting mix for seed starting because that's special. And then I also got these seed starting trays from Burpee. The other day I organized all my seeds by when I need to start them, and I put them in little baggies with like the time. These are 8 to 10 weeks. These ones are the ones I'm gonna start today. These are the 10 to 12 weeks. And then I'm also gonna start some of these because I wanna have a little indoor herb garden in our like front window area. So I'm gonna start basil, sage, spearmint, and rosemary today as well. I'd like to grow those so that I can put them in a pot and be able to like eat off them. The biggest thing I learned from gardening last year was how much I love having herbs to cook with because they're just like so delicious, and it's so nice that they don't go bad in your fridge because they're already on the plant, so you can just go out and cut some off. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Oh, also, I'm doing this all in my laundry room. So we have a weirdly large laundry room. We're very lucky, but it's kind of in like the basement corner of our house. So I got this shelf, I'll show you, and then a like obviously bought grow lights and stuff. So I'm gonna set this all up in here, and it's nice because we have a sink back there, so I can water everything with that as well. I think I'm going to first start by attaching the grow light. I might need to, I built this shelf, but I think I might need more space with the shelf, so I might put one of the things up higher. But I'm gonna start by putting the light, attaching the light to the shelf. I got these lights that actually came with like this hanger attachment, so that's really nice. Okay, so I just got the heat mat set up, and then I got the light hung. I'm just realizing the light doesn't look totally even, but from what I understand, you don't really need to use the light for the first few days until the leaves actually like germinate, for most plants, not all plants. But you do, it is helpful to have the heat mat. So I have that turning on. I can already feel it getting warm. It's kind of funny. It's like a very light warm. It's only, I think it only makes it like 85 degrees. So it's not like hot or anything. But I got, these are the trays I got. I got this set from Burpee. The first reason I got it is because it had 72 holes. So I thought that was like a good bang for my buck. I think these were like $20 each. But I also liked it because they have the auto or self-watering. So this is the one I opened. So it's like these two, they're separate. There's like two trays, which is where you actually plant your seedlings. And then there's a, I think these are called capillary mats. And this goes over the self-watering tray. It's kind of like set up on these little risers, and this goes into the water and it wicks the water up, so your plants aren't sitting in direct water, but they have access to water, which I think ends up making your plants extra happy. So these trays did come with these little, these are called like growing fiber coconut fiber things. I think they're supposed to stay really wet and be helpful, but that's not how I've seen it done most often. So I think I might just get rid of these and just use this potting mix that I bought. I am not an organic gardener myself. I would say most of the stuff I use is organic, but I do just buy regular old Miracle-Gro. At the end of this video, I'll talk about some of the resources I use for all my gardening questions because I have several favorite resources. So anyway, I'm gonna use this. I think I'm gonna get rid of all these little coconut fiber things. And I'm gonna start actually putting seeds in. The way that I've heard the best thing to do is just read the back of the pack to see whether how deep you should put it, and then also like just different details. So I'm gonna try to put the same seeds like together. The only other thing I didn't mention yet is I got this sprayer because they say it's good to be able to kind of like lightly spritz the top of your plants instead of, you know, like using a bigger watering can or something. So I'm gonna use this guy when it comes to watering them. So this I learned from Garden Answer, which is my favorite gardening YouTuber, but she said to pre-moisten the soil. So I'm gonna do that as well. I think I'm gonna get started with my herb seeds and do like an entire row of each one is what I'm thinking. And I think I'm gonna do 2 seeds per hole. So let's start with basil. Okay, so while I do this, because this is gonna be kind of boring probably to watch, I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to have a little chat. I feel like we can have a little gardening chats. This channel, I started thinking I would talk a lot more about plus size fashion, but I'm honestly just not someone who shops like super often. Like I feel like I'm buying a few pieces every few weeks, but I don't like do big shops that often. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out how to share stuff without it being like fake, because I just kind of want to share what I'm into at the time. And honestly, a lot of this winter is I'm into hobbies. Like this is where I'm spending money, is on hobbies, because it's like something to do. And honestly, I feel like we're all just kind of bored. And I think sometimes it's nice to see videos from people who aren't 100% like pros at something. Like I know a lot of people search YouTube for people who are like totally active, like perfect. And I do too. I like love, I'll share some of the resources that I love for gardening, but I also think it's fun sometimes to watch someone do something new, especially because YouTube can be this way of like experiencing something without actually experiencing it. Like there's so much to learn. And honestly, I think YouTube's a helpful way to get inspired to do things. So I like the idea of being like, of showing things that I'm doing that you could go out and also do, because none of this is rocket science. How are you guys all doing? I feel like everyone is in kind of like a humdrum of winter. I'm definitely feeling that. That's part of why I was excited to start these seeds, because I just feel bored. I think for cauliflower, I might actually start more, because this is one that I think will go in and come out before anything for the summer starts. So I could plant a lot of this. This asparagus I'm supposed to have soaked, but I didn't, and I'm wondering if it'll be a problem. Honestly, if the asparagus doesn't work out, it won't break my heart. Okay, speaking of hobbies, I am excited because I think I've convinced some of my girlfriends to start doing some more hobby stuff. They've all gotten inspired by my embroidery, and they want to do some embroidered sweatshirts, so I'm going to show them how to do that. So I'm excited about that. All right, because I want to start these flower seeds and I didn't have room for them, I'm gonna open this second tray. One thing I did learn is that you don't really want to start the automatic watering until they have some actual growth. So in like a week or so for most seeds, I'm just using this bottom tray to like keep the seeds in there, because these things are so flimsy. It's like you can't just, so I'm gonna leave them in here. But at some point, once they have leaves, I'll prop them up on these little stands inside here and put the mats, the capillary mats on them, and then it will be self-watering. I also, until they have leaves, or maybe even a little after, use these clear plastic domes, and these just go on top of this, and it creates a more like humid environment for them to start. Start with these carnations first. Okay, another thing, Clubhouse. What do we think about Clubhouse? I got an invite and it's really weird. I don't know, I don't really get it. People are kind of like really into it, but I personally am not a fan. I mean, it's cool if I had like a lot of extra time and just wanted to listen to people talk, which like right now, that wouldn't be terrible. But otherwise, it's just kind of weird and I don't get it. I don't know. There wasn't a lot of stuff that was like of my interest. And I'm obviously a super visual person, like video. So I feel like it's particularly like not me. Oh my God, these seeds come in another little seed packet because they're so tiny. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about that I have been talking to Emily about, which is self-help books. Because I, for a long time, was really into them, like loved reading them. I liked reading people's experiences, and I still like that, like the kind of like memoir-ish part of self-help books. But I got out of the habit of reading them when I was kind of going through my whole like therapy journey slash like self-love journey, I don't know, whatever that's called, the last few years. I really shied away from them because I realized that they were often just making me feel worse about what I was currently doing, and they weren't like leading me down the right path. So now that I feel like I'm a lot further from that, in a better place to like take in that information, because I don't think they're bad, I just think I was in a not good spot. Anyway, I started reading Emily's favorite book ever, which is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I actually bought it on Audible because I had some Audible credits, and so far I'm really liking it. I mean, I think that it's more of it's like a guidebook type situation, and it's like I don't know when it was put out, but it's like, I think it's like 40 years old or 20 years old or something. I don't know. I think it's like pretty well established as a good reference. So I'm excited to read that. It's long, it's like 15 hours long. So I have not gotten, I think I'm like 1 hour into it, but I have been liking that. I think there's a time and a place for self-help type things, because if you're not in a good headspace, it's really hard to hear other people talk about what you should do, because it's like you need to like figure out what you want to do and then look to sort of experts to help you. Anyway, that's just how my experience has been. And I feel like there's kind of this, oh, this is weird, there's not that many seeds in here. Okay, well, guess we're only gonna use that many. Anyway, I don't know, it's a weird thing to figure out, is like when is a good idea to have self-help around. Okay, this only did 2 trays, so should I fill them up with something else? Maybe I'll just put more poppies, just because that's already what's right next to it. I know you don't actually have to turn on the grow lights until they are emerging, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and turn mine on because I think a few of the seeds said that light was helpful for germination. So I'm gonna turn them on to give this really fun pink vibe. I did get official grow lights. I'll link them down below so you can shop them if you're interested. Okay, I'm gonna quickly switch to my other camera because this one is dying. So I can talk quickly about the resources I love that I feel like you guys should check out. Okay, so I have a few resources that I love for gardening stuff, and I'm gonna talk about all of them. The first one that I started with is the square foot garden method. I'll put the actual name of the book because I forget the exact name, but this is a book you can buy. I bought it on my Kindle and I read it last year, and it's really helpful about how to do a small scale garden. The second place I got a lot of inspiration was the Instagram account by Whitney Hawkins called Peonies and Peppers. She puts out a bunch of good content, and she actually just came out with a whole garden
handbook type thing. I haven't gotten it, but it looks like it's really helpful. The third thing is probably the thing I've learned the most from, which is Garden Answer. A lot of her stuff is also about like having flower beds and things like that outside. But her content is so good. It's also just fun to watch. Even if you don't garden, it just like makes you love plants. And I have learned so much. I feel like I know like the names of actual plants now because of her. So that's super helpful. So I think those are the top 3. There's obviously tons out there, but these are the 3 that I've learned the most from. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, especially if you like videos like this. I'm making all kinds of different content just for fun. Have a great day. Bye, friends.